Alright guys, so this will be the review of the 164 at the Diecast Promotions Peterbilt 379 with the Jeep and the Stinger. This one is owner-operator, so there is no livery, although the colors are very cool. And before I get into it, this is just a typical 55-ton Fontaine Lowboy, so it's not anything special. So looking at the tractor, you can see it is incredibly nice, and there's a lot of chrome, which is also nice because it breaks apart from the color. When I first received this model, I wasn't too fond of the sleeper cab because where I live, there are a lot of local street trucks without sleeper cabs, but the sleeper has grown on me, and over time I think it definitely does make it look nice, and I'm sure most of you would agree. And if you don't at first, believe me, once you get it and you have it in your collection for a while, you will definitely agree. Now, looking at the front, you can see the bumper is chrome, and that is plastic, unfortunately, but it is very small, so small that I have to use this pick. If we look at the grill, you can see it has that texture to where it does actually look like a grill, and it does look etched through the engine. And you can see the lights here, and which is also very cool. You can see there's even a spot for a hitch. Side of the fenders are gloss black, which is a very nice touch. I like the two-toned color on this truck, and one thing that I very much like about it is there's not too much black, so it's a nice balance of the two colors in my opinion. Over here you can see you have the rivet detail, which is super nice because it does add a lot of detail, and you also have the Peterbilt emblem. If we open up the hood, you can see the engine, and just super detailed. I like it a lot, especially for the price. I don't believe it's too pricey, especially for the trailer that you get. And if we turn it, we can see the rest of the engine, and it's overall just super nice. And there's the back of the hood and at the top of the hood, and it opens still right there. It doesn't open anymore, but I like it a lot because it opens great to where you could display it viewing the engine, which I like a lot. Now looking at the front, you can see the tires and the rims, and you can see they are chrome, and they do click into position. So you have one position there and then one position there, which is nice because if you want to display it or make a stop motion or any type of video on it, you could have it steering. And they also turn left, and it has a very nice turning radius. Now looking at this side, the passenger side, you can see the air filter right here is completely chrome, and it does have some detail up top here to where there would be vents to let the air in, and that's pretty cool. A little hard to see, but you could make it out under the light. And the mirror over here, which unfortunately is falling off, but I don't want to glue it because I feel like if I glue it, there's going to be huge glue marks. Looking down over here, you have the steps into the cab, and they're diamond plate textured, which looks awesome, and they're also chrome. Up top over here, you have the visor, two air horns, and the lights. And the top of the roof on the cab and the sleeper is also gloss black, and once again it balances out the color very well, and I like that a lot. You could also see, which makes it look completely awesome, are the chrome straight pipes, and I really think that really makes the truck look 10 times nice than if they were just normal pipes, and I like that a lot. Just a very cool feature. Here's a sleeper cab, and you could see again riveted texture, which is very nice, and top of the sleeper cab is gloss, and below the sleeper cab you have the fuel tanks, and the other side has it as well. It's exactly the same except it's on the other side, and you can see it has the chrome texture or the diamond plate texture to climb up on the fuel tank, and coming to the back, which again I like a lot. And here's the rig from behind. You can see the back fenders on the 3 axles are chrome, and I don't know if I would like them if they were painted or if they were chrome more, but being that they're chrome and that's the way you get it, I think it looks very nice. And interestingly enough, the axle closest to the cab isn't a drop axle or anything, so it's just there, and you can't drop it or raise it or anything like that. which I would have thought they would have did that, but I guess not. And you can see the rims are chrome, which I like painted rims, but the chrome goes very well with the design and the color of the truck. Looking at the back, it's unfortunate there's no brake lights or, you know, turning signals or anything like that. Pretty disappointed that they didn't add that. It's really not much to add, but you can always add it yourself. It's really not that hard at all. And here's the fifth wheel, which is, you know, normal. There's nothing really crazy about it. It tilts, but it doesn't slide towards the cab or out of the way of the cab. Now, one of my probably top 3 favorites on the tractor is the headache rack, and I say that because it just really adds to the fact that it's a heavy hauler, and I just think that it looks super nice. It has all the chains and binders and everything like that, and it's diamond plated, which looks super nice. And you have your air lines, your brake lines, and your electric lines right there that would run to the tractor. I don't think that you could detach them, but there's really nothing you could do. And I believe up here you have what would represent lights, and that's also very cool. Now, I don't know if you could tell or not, but if you look right there, you could see that there is a window for the sleeper cab. So if you do take that headache rack off, there is a window there, which would also make it look very nice. And another thing that I like that they did on the tractor is on the rails up here, they didn't leave it open with a bunch of, you know, holes for options to put diamond plating or whatever, like it is on a lot of trucks that they do make. They added the chrome plate up there, so I like that a lot as well. Now, looking underneath, you can see it's really nothing crazy, but you have your drive shafts and your drive shaft and whatnot. Limited detail underneath, like you have air chambers and everything, but once again, limited detail. But personally, I don't display my trucks so you can see the bottom of it. And before we get to the trailer, the doors do not open, so that's just a fact that I want to put out there. If any of you had the question, the doors do not open. So now let's get to the trailer. So here's the Jeep for the trailer, and the way it connects to the fifth wheel is it just drops right in, so there's no clips or anything, which is very nice because if you do go to mess around with it, you don't have to worry about it popping out. So you just drop it in and it just goes right in, which is nice. Looking at the Jeep, I like the Jeep more than the Stinger personally, and I'll get to that in a second. But looking at the Jeep, very detailed and very nice in red. I feel like if it was in a different color, I probably wouldn't like it as much, although I would like it. Now, I'll just take it off so I could show you it. It's a pretty simple design. It's just, you know, a two-axle frame essentially with a fifth wheel on it. This fifth wheel right here really doesn't move. It's just there so the Lowboy will attach. And here's what I mean by the kingpin on the trailer just drops right in. And it doesn't slide out or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. It is metal, which is also nice, which is a big plus. And here's the mud flaps. And cool thing is, I guess that these would represent lights right here, and I like that a lot. You know, really wouldn't see it just hauling a Jeep, but if you do, there's the lights. And here's the mud flaps. They're plastic, so they don't actually move or anything, which, you know, could be a downfall to some people, but being that it's right behind the gooseneck on the Lowboy, that really doesn't mean much to me that they're plastic. And underneath, you just basically have the air chambers and nothing more than that. Very nice thing about it is, though, it is decaled very nicely. You can see you have the DOT warning stripes and the Fontaine logo right there, which I like a lot. It also has the holes on it, and I'm 90% sure the holes are on it to lessen the weight in the trailer. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is for. Anyway, getting to the Lowboy, which is super nice, especially the gooseneck. The gooseneck on the Lowboy right here has, once again, the decaling, and you could see has the DOT stripes and the Fontaine. I think it says magnitude right there. I guess it's the series of the trailer. But before I get to the rest of the Lowboy, I want to show you the gooseneck. And the gooseneck can detach, and you just, you know, pretty much pull it off like that. And it can feel like it will break off, because if you look, you have to kind of push it from the bottom out, What I mean by that is basically you put it like that. It's a little hard to do, but I'll show you in a second. Anyway, looking at the gooseneck, you have more decals here, and here are the lines that you connect to, you know, for your brake lines, your air lines, and your electrical lines and whatnot. Looking at the side, more holes in it, which I think that the holes actually give it a pretty cool look. And you can see the Fontaine and the magnitude decal. Up top, not exactly sure what these are, but I would assume they are the hydraulic pumps for the cylinders on the gooseneck. And over here is the lock for the gooseneck, but it doesn't move. It might move if you take that pin out, but the pin's in there pretty tight, and I haven't tried to do it because I don't want to break anything. But it would be able to move, it seems like, if you would take it out. It doesn't seem like there's a stiff arm or anything. There might be with this, but once again, I'm unsure because those look like cylinders. And this rod right here is to hook up to the gooseneck, and this little plastic piece right here is the lock for the gooseneck, and this entire piece is metal, besides the parts like the hydraulic pumps over here and the little plastic clip, because it does come off the gooseneck. Well, the attachment for the gooseneck on the trailer. Anyway, here is the trailer, and the trailer, really nothing crazy, to be honest with you. It's basically just a normal Lowboy. It's not really tricked out or anything customized, so to say. Pretty, you know, pretty plain, but still nice because it goes with the truck. Anyway, here are the ramps to get your machine up on here. I assume the trailer doesn't have the ramps that fold down, so I'm just going to leave it as that. And they're pretty plain, but they do have the little ribs on them, so to say, so the machine doesn't slip when it drives up it. And over here, the whole deck on the side has the wood grain texture, and I believe it's just plastic painted, and I don't think it's actual wood, although you could probably take that up and replace it with wood, and some people do sell kits for that. Over here are little outriggers that you would be able to, and I'm pretty sure they supply you with them, put the wood on them. And one thing I want to say about these, I normally collect 1/50th scale trucks. These outriggers right here actually will clip into position when they're out. So unlike a lot of others, like for example 1/50th scale trucks, since a lot of my viewers do mainly collect 1/50th scale, a lot of them just fold out and they'll just slide right back in. These will actually hold and clip out there, which is super nice, and you don't have to worry about them folding in or anything. And I'm pretty sure they supply you with the wood planks, but I can't remember to be exact. And the top of the trailer on the ends has diamond plate texture, and it has these ribs over here. And coming towards the end near the axles, pretty much matches the other end, and then you have your axles over here. Now, once again, chrome rims, excuse me, and the tires, which are actually plastic. And it looks like as it does have a working suspension, which is also very cool. Over here, this plate here, I would assume, is the rest of the boom for an excavator, or the stick when you curl the bucket under, which is also very nice. And if you look over here, they actually added the detail. Although they don't actually work and fold out, they added the D-rings here, which I like a lot. And if you notice on the bottom rail over here, you can see the DOT warning stripes. They continue over here, which is also very nice. Coming to the Stinger, which I'm still, you know, questioning as if I like this Stinger because it has the hydraulic cylinder right here. But the Stinger can come off, and there's the pin right here will slide out, and if you have a minute, I will slide it out here, and it goes on from underneath. And the way it works is if you look at this piece right here, there's a little tab on the end, and you just push it up and then you slide the pins in. There really isn't any need for them to have these holes on the bottom here, as there's no connection points for them. There's only a connection point up top. But regardless, a very cool little piece. It can turn separate from the trailer, which is nice. And if you look, it does have the same high quality decaling. You can see it even says Fontaine. And the back of it, which is great, has, you know, the brake lights and the turning signals and whatnot. Unfortunately, these mud flaps, once again, are plastic, so they don't actually move like real mud flaps. But still very cool nonetheless. Unfortunately, when I got this, there were no pins. And what I mean by that is, if you look here, you need pins to actually attach it to the trailer and to attach this to the little adapter. Mine didn't come with any, so I mean, it might have been my packaging, but if you do buy it, make sure you just have an extra set laying around, because you might or might not need them. And overall, this piece is pretty detailed, and the cylinders work like so, but like I'm going to show you here, they do pop out, so watch out. I doubt that anyone would move it like that. I just did that for the review, just to show anybody that there are no stops there for it, or anything like that. Now, looking at the back of the Lowboy trailer, very, very nice. Mud flaps, once again, they don't move or anything, and you have your, you know, your lights on the back. And the cool thing that I like about it is, you can see the little adapters here, so you could put, you know, another axle on the back, because they do sell them. Now, I'll just show you how you hook up the stinger to it, and then I want to show you something about it. Basically, you just put it in from underneath. You have to align it, but it's not really that hard. And you just slide the pin in. And you're set to go. Now, once again, I'm still unsure if I like the whole cylinder part of it. I'm not too familiar with these stingers, so I don't know if they all have it. But I guess it's cool, but I still need a little while for it to grow on me. Alright guys, so if you're wondering how much it retails for, I bought this one for $94, and you could find them at numerous places for just around that price. In my opinion, it's 100% worth it, especially if you collect 1/64 scale trucks, because a lot of times you do see people custom make these and sell them on eBay. So for 94 bucks, I feel it's definitely absolutely worth it in my book. Colors are nice, build quality is nice, and it is a mainly metal model, and I don't normally collect in this scale. But still, very cool model to have. If you could find one, definitely pick one up. I believe they make it in gray and yellow. Those are the ones I could just think off the top of my head. Not sure if they do make it in any other colors, but if they do, be sure to let me know in the comments, because all info is appreciated. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the review, and check out the links in the description. And if you want to see a lot of truck photos, definitely check out the website in the description. And if you could like the Facebook page, it would be much appreciated. So thanks for your time, and take care.